Good day everyone, I'm Mtb-Mle from BSED English 2A. So today we will be talking about the mother tongue-based multilingual education. So first let's talk about what is mother tongue. So mother tongue is a language that a person has grown up speaking, okay, from his early childhood or the person's native language. Now, this approach to education is where children are taught in their native language in schools. So particularly, this is used in the early years of schooling. So this approach was under the DepEd Order number 06-2012 that was integrated into K-12 curriculum to enhance the children's first language. So it is an educational approach that uses the children's first language or mother tongue as a primary medium of instruction during the early years of schooling. So this typically started with kindergarten that will end to the third grade. Now, this method gradually introduces additional languages, okay, including the national language and other languages of wider communication as subjects and later as mediums of instruction. So, Philippines is also the first country to have the first country in the Southeast Asia to have this national policy instituted or implemented, wherein it became, or the country became the first role model in the Southeast Asia to have their to have their national language, or their native language instituted as well. I believe that maybe this approach can help the children, improve their literacy in their first language. However, there might be some problems or complications to it, as not everyone knows how to speak a certain language or a certain native language, especially that we are now in a diverse society. So a personal experience happened to us, my family, especially my younger brother. Although we know how to speak Chavacano, okay, but we live in a barangay that full of Chavacano people, but of course with mixed of Muslim people. However, maybe we can understand the language, we can talk the language. However, there might be some things that we don't fully understand that made it difficult for us to to fully adapt this policy or this approach. I think this approach is great. However, we must also consider the fact that we live in a diverse society wherein we must consider the feelings or the situations of other people as well. So that would be all for the introduction of this topic. So now let's proceed to the other topics of my members.
Hello everyone, I am Ivan Falca Santos, one of the reporters from Group 2. Today we're exploring the impact of language on learning in the classroom. Specifically, we'll look at the preferences for the language of instruction and how this influences understanding and engagement. Our topic for today's discussion is language preferences in the classroom. But before that, we will have first an overview of the bilingual education policy in the Philippines since 1974. The bilingual education policy in the Philippines, implemented in 1974, promotes bilingualism by using Filipino and English as mediums of instruction. Filipino is used for subjects like social studies and arts, while English is for science and mathematics. This policy aims to develop proficiency in both languages, enhance learning, and foster national unity. In 2009, the Enhanced Basic Education Act, or what we call K-12 program, introduced mother tongue-based multilingual education, or Mtb-Mle in short, using the mother tongue as the medium of instruction from kindergarten to grade 3, then transitioning to Filipino and English in higher grades. This shift aims to improve learning outcomes and maintain bilingualism. To gather some insights, I make a poll in our group chat with my classmates. I ask them, what language do you prefer your teacher to use in class? Since we're online when explaining the lesson. Now I have the results. Now let's take a look at the results. The results of the poll reveal that 20 plus of my classmates prefer lessons in our mother tongue, while only one of my classmates prefer the lessons in second language. These preferences suggest that many students feel more comfortable and understand better when lessons are taught in the language they are most familiar with. So, again, I am Ivan Foca Santos, one of the reporter from Group 2. I hope you learned something. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Janalyn Iterzana, a second year student taking up Bachelor's of Secondary Major in English. And this is my video presentations about mother tongue as the foundations of content and second language learning. Based on my experiences and the feedbacks from my classmates, it's clear that the language of instructions play a significant role in our learnings. Most of us agree that we learn best in our mother tongue because it's easier to grasp complex concepts and engage with the materials. For us, based on the survey polls that we made, um, most of us answered and choose mother tongue as a um, mode of instructions or the way on our teachers will teach us because of that we learned easier and more understanding about that specific topic, especially for those deep words or the unfamiliar words that we don't know. So our teachers will translate it, especially into our mother tongue, for us to understand easier. So, bilingual educational policy and code switching. Although the bilingual education policy has been in place since 1974, requiring the use of Filipino and English for specific subject, the reality in many classrooms is different because teachers often switch between language, especially when explaining difficult topics. This practice, known as the switching rather, it helps us make the content more accessible and understandable for students. So, I have here some example of switching in classroom settings. For instance, the teachers will explain the concept first in English, then he or she will translate it into the mother tongue, usage of mother tongue. So, to conclude with, the choice of language in classroom is crucial for effective learning. While policies may dictate certain languages for instructions, the flexibility of teachers to use the mother tongue when necessary can significantly enhance student understanding and engagement. So thank you for watching. This is Jonalyn Iterzona. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Clarence Silaka from BSED English 2A, and for this time we're going to discuss the bilingual education policy that was reported by Monji, Arbeta, Francisci Aguido, and Caponels in 2019. So the use of both Filipino and English as a medium of instruction in the Philippine education, known as a bilingual education policy, has not been successful in terms of education performance in mathematics and sciences. So the Department of Education believes that this policy has resulted Filipino students not mastering even 60% of academic content. So the researchers hypothesize that language may be a contributing factor to this issue, suggesting that the use of both languages as a medium of instruction may be hindering students' ability to fully understand and learn academic content. So in order to address this concern, Mtb-Mle was institutionalized in the year of 2019 through the O number 74 entitled Institutionalizing Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education, or MLE. So it's aiding the use of learners' first language as the primary medium of instruction. So from the preschool until at least grade 3. So during such period, the primary language or the first language shall be the main vehicle to teach understanding and mastery of all subjects topic areas like mathematics, sciences, makabayan, and language subjects that Filipino and English. We can identify these things as the clause 3 of the fundamental requirements for a strong mother tongue-based multilingual education. So, the expansion of the bilingual education policy will recognize the role of local languages to facilitate learning during the early years of instructions was based on several studies conducted abroad and in the country. So that's it for my topic. Thank you very much for watching.
Hello everyone, I am Isolde Mahilom and today I will be discussing an important educational policy that focuses on the learner's right to education in their mother tongue. In 2009, the Department of Education in the Philippines issued Department Order Number 74. It's emphasizing the significance of providing education in a student's native language. This principle was further reinforced in Section 4 of Republic Act 10533, particularly in Paragraph 3 of the Enhanced Basic Education Program of 2013. According to this provision, during kindergarten and the first 3 years of elementary education, instruction, teaching materials, and assessments should be conducted in the regional or native language of the students. This approach aims to create an inclusive and effective learning environment where students can better understand and engage with educational content in a language they are most comfortable with. Furthermore, the DepEd is tasked with developing a mother language transition program for students from grade 4 to grade 6. This program is designed to gradually introduce Filipino and English as a language of instruction during these years. The gradual introduction of this language is intended to prepare students for higher levels of education, where Filipino and English will become the primary languages of instruction at the secondary level. This transition period allows students to build proficiency in both Filipino and English while maintaining a strong foundation in the regional or native language. So, the language transition program plays a vital role in equipping students with the necessary language skills to excel academically and communicate effectively in a diverse and multilingual society.
Good morning to each and everyone. I am Lani Joy Lisondra, and today we were going to talk about something that is very important, and that is the language we use in our education. So, according to sections 4 and 5 of the Basic Education Act, it is crucial that we deliver education in languages that our learners understand well. So, why is this so important? So here is the answer to that question. So according to the implementing rules and regulations of DO number 43, 2013, the basic education must be delivered in languages that understood by the learners. So basically, if we're going to teach our students, it must be in their mother tongue or the dominant language that they are using in that particular place. So for instances, here in Zamboanga City, the mother tongue here or the dominant language that the people are using is Chavacano, and that is why in their curriculum they have mother tongue as their subject, especially in grade school. It is to ensure that the language serve as a strategic tool in shaping the early educational experiences of a children. The language plays a strategic role in shaping the formative years of a learners. So when we teach in a language that the students are comfortable with, they learn better and understand more deeply the topic. So that is why our curriculum focuses on developing proficiency in both Filipino and English. However, the first and dominant language of the learners or their mother tongue will serve as the fundamental language of education, especially during the earlier years. So as I've said earlier, they use their mother tongue during their grade school, specifically in their kindergarten to grade 3. For kindergarten and the first 3 years of elementary education, all instructions, the teaching materials like books and modules, and also the assessment will be in their regional or native language. It helps the students to build a strong foundation in their mother tongue before they're gradually transitioning to Filipino and English. Using their regional or native language in the classroom, it ensures the students to feel more connected and engaged for them to participate in class because they can express themselves freely and grasp the lesson more easily. Always remember that language is not just a tool for communication. It's part of our identity and culture. Embracing our native language in education helps preserve our cultural heritage while preparing us for a globalized world. In delivering education in languages that understood by our learners during their formative years is essential for effective learning. So that's the end of the discussion. I hope that you learned something today, and later on we will having an activity for this topic. So the first question is, why are you reading this document? So, I am reading this document to understand and know the implementation and significance of mother tongue based multilingual education, or the Mtb-Mle, as outlined in the K-12 curriculum guide by the Department of Education. And this will help me to comprehend the educational strategies, the policies, and the objectives that is related to the use of mother tongue in early education. Second question is, what do you hope to learn as you read it? So as for me, I hope to learn the rationale behind the Mtb-Mle approach, its goals, the specific guidelines for its implementation, and how it is expected to benefit the students in terms of cognitive and linguistic development. Additionally, I want to understand the challenges and considerations involved in this educational strategy. In the boxes below, my co-reporters, Ms. Aisel Mahilom, will supply the answer for the specific question. So that's all for my report. Thank you and God bless.
Here are 3 potential points that could be significant in a document like the Department of Education's K-12 Curriculum Guide for Mother Tongue, and these 3 potential points really catches my attention. First, the cultural integration. The guide may emphasize the importance of incorporating cultural elements into language instruction to promote the deeper understanding and appreciation of the student's cultural heritage. This could involve integrating traditional stories, songs, customs, and practices into language lessons. Second, the language skills development. It might outline a comprehensive approach to developing students' language skills, including listening, speaking, reading, and writing in the mother tongue. The document could provide guidance on how to scaffold the skills effectively across different grade levels to ensure students' proficiency. And the last point is assessment strategies. The guide may offer insights into various assessment methods tailored to evaluate students' language, proficiency, and understanding of cultural concepts. This could include both formative and summative assessments, along with the recommendations for providing feedback and tracking students' progress over time. For the second column, well, certainly I chose those points because they represent key aspects of mother tongue instructions that are essential for both the development of language skills and preservation of cultural identity.
So good morning everyone. I am Nelson Cristobal Jr. from BSED English 2A. So today I will discuss about the diagram of mother tongue based multilingual education or the Mtb-Mle curriculum framework. So it is a program designed by the Department of Education in the Philippines to help students develop strong foundational skills in their native language before learning additional languages. So the framework integrates several aspects that influence learning. So the first is the social, political, and cultural factors. The framework acknowledges that these factors play a role in language learning. Second is the psychology and teaching methods. So how students learn and how they are taught are important considerations. The third is understanding the learner. So the framework emphasizes the importance of understanding individual students' characteristics and preferred learning styles. The fourth is understanding language. So the nature of language itself and how it functions is a core aspect. So these factors all contribute to the development of learning outcomes and standard. So which set expectations for what students will learn and how well they will learn it. So the core of the framework is the mother tongue, which serves as a strong foundation for learning. In the early grades, kindergarten to grade 3, students receive instructions in their mother tongue for all subjects. So this allows them to build a strong base in core skills like reading, writing, and critical thinking in the language they understand best. So additional languages, typically Filipino and English, are introduced gradually. Filipino, the national language, is introduced for speaking in grade 1 and for reading and writing in grade 3. So English is introduced later. So the framework focuses on developing all aspects of language skills: listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing in all the languages a student is learning. So this ensures students can effectively understand and communicate across different contexts. So the framework also highlights the importance of critical thinking and other cognitive skills. So it acknowledges that students have different needs and learning styles, and it aims to create an inclusive learning environment that caters to those differences. Overall, the Mtb-Mle framework aims to equip students with the skills and knowledge they need to become lifelong learners by fostering a strong foundation in their mother tongue and additional languages. Students are better prepared to continue learning throughout their lives.
Good day everyone. First thing first, let me introduce my name. I'm Mtb-Mle Santos from BSED English 2A. Today, I'll discuss and answer the question, the common components of curriculum frameworks in current context. So let me answer of what is the social and economic environment in which teaching and learning occurs. So the social and economic environment of teaching and learning is influenced by various factors such as socio-economic status, school funding, government policies, community and cultural context, economic condition, technological access, and social issues. Students and families with higher incomes can access better educational resources, while affluent neighborhoods have better funded schools with more resources. Public schools rely on government funding, while private schools have access to additional funds through tuition and donations. Government policies and education system also impact the quality and accessibility of education. Community support and cultural attitudes also play a crucial role in shaping the educational environment. Economic condition, job market trends, technological access, and social issues like inequality and discrimination also impact educational outcomes. Addressing this factor is essential for creating a supportive and equitable educational environment that promotes effective teaching and learning.
Good day everyone, my name is Rashida Itumnafua. Now let's continue the following questions. In structure of curriculum content, learning areas and subjects, how is the content organized within the framework? And what subjects or learning areas will be studied in each stage or cycle? Now, the content within the curriculum framework is typically organized based on scope, sequence, and learning objectives. Subjects studied in each stage include core subjects like mathematics, language arts, science, and social studies in primary education. In secondary education, elective subjects and career-focused courses are introduced. Higher education offers major and minor fields of study, general education requirements, and advanced careers. Professional development includes specialized training, certifications program, and professional development seminars tailored to specific professions or industries. Now, teaching approaches might be employed in the implementation of framework include lecture-based teaching, experiential learning, collaborative learning, project-based learning, differentiated instruction, technology integration, inquiry-based learning, and the flipped classroom model. So the last question is, how will achievement of outcome be assessed? So in assessing student achievement of outcomes can be assessed through methods such as tests, quizzes, projects, presentations, portfolios, observations, self-assessment, peer assessment, and of course, performance tests that can be used to provide a comprehensive evaluation of student achievement. That would be all. Thanks.
As Ogok from BSED English 2A. Today, I'm gonna explain about the common components of curriculum framework in current context. So first question is, what is the social and economic environment in which teaching and learning occurs? First, we have the social and economic environment profoundly influence teaching and learning shaped by several key factors. Economic disparities to lead to significant differences in school funding, affecting the quality of facilities, resources, and educational opportunities. Wealthier schools can provide modern technology and a variety of extracurricular activities, while under Of the educational policy statement. First, we have access and equity. Ensure all individuals can access education. Next, we have quality. To improve the quality of education and teaching. Next, we have the literacy and numeracy. Enhance the basic literacy and numeracy skills. Next, we have the early childhood education. Expand early education's program. Next, we have a STEM education. Promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Sixth, we have a lifelong learning. Support continuous learning opportunities. Next, we have global competitiveness to prepare students for the global economy. 9, we have a civic development to foster the informed and responsible citizenship. 9, lastly, we have the infrastructure to invest in educational facilities and technologies. Of broad learning objectives and outcome standards for each level. So we have the core knowledge to master in reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. Next, we have critical thinking, analyze and solve complex problems. Next, we have communication to communicate effectively in writing and speech. Next, we have a digital literacy. Use digital tools proficiently and safely. Next, we have the collaboration. Work well in teams and resolve conflicts. Sixth, the creativity. Think creatively and innovate. Next, self-management. Manage time and tasks efficiently. Lastly, we have the emotional skills. When we say emotional skills, it is understand and manage their emotions in social interaction.
So, I am Rochelle Libanya Santiago and I am going to discuss the challenges in the current implementation of mother tongue-based multilingual education. The challenges are multilingual environment, difficulty in translation, inadequacy of learning materials, mandatory of compliance to DepEd orders, and lack of teachers training and seminars. So let's discuss the challenges one by one. The first thing is the multilingual environment. So, multilingual environment means there are many different languages spoken in one place. For example, in a school, you might have a student who speak Bisaya, Tausug, and Chavacano. This can happen in places with diverse cultures or in places where people from different backgrounds live together. So in such environments, you hear different languages being spoken around you. Therefore, in places where people speak different languages, it's hard to follow a policy that says kids should learn in their own language. So this is a challenging for both students and the teachers who might not speak the same language well. For example, if a teacher doesn't speak the language of the kids in their class, it's tough for them to teach effectively. So, it's not just about students struggling, but also about teachers having difficulty. Another challenge is difficulty in translation. Implementing mother tongue-based multilingual education face significant challenges, particularly in translating lesson content into local languages and dialect. For teachers, addressing the needs of students who do not speak Tagalog adds to the difficulty. One major issue is that academic language often becomes impractically long when translated. For instance, in mathematics, an elementary school teacher observed that terms in Tagalog are often lengthy and wordy, making concepts like counting number and placed value charts cumbersome and harder for students to grasp. So the third challenge is inadequacy of instructional material. A major challenge in implementing mother tongue-based multilingual education is lack of sufficient textbooks and learning materials to effectively support the program. When the government issued issued the memorandum to implement mother tongue-based multilingual education, it did not promptly provide the necessary materials. The mother tongue-based multilingual education program is generally considered relevant and beneficial for instruction. However, a major challenge is the lack of necessary instructional materials. Despite the claims of success, but without sufficient learning materials such as books, ICT resources, software, and media in the local languages used for instruction, students are at risk of failing. This shortage of materials makes it difficult to effectively implement the program and support students' learning needs. So the fourth challenges is the mandatory compliance to DepEd order. So according to stakeholders, the DepEd must be implemented because it is a national policy in the education sector. They have explained that compliance with the program entails meeting its goals and objectives. So, a school must align their teaching methods and curricula with the goals and objectives of the mother tongue-based multilingual education program. For example, the program aims to improve literacy and numeracy in the mother tongue before transitioning to additional languages. However, if schools lack the resources or training to support this, they cannot meet these objectives, resulting in poor educational outcomes. By addressing these challenges, stakeholders aim to ensure that the mother tongue-based multilingual education program is effectively implemented, thereby enhancing the quality of education and promoting better learning outcomes for students across the country. Lastly, the challenges is the lack of teachers training and seminars. Training and seminars are crucial for teachers working with multilingual learners. These professional development opportunities provide teachers with the orientation and guidance necessary to effectively manage classrooms where students speak different languages. In the context of the Philippines, the lack of adequate training and seminars present significant challenges to the implementation of the mother tongue-based multilingual education program. For instance, in a classroom in Mindanao, a teacher might have students who speak Cebuano, Tagalog, and Maranao. Without training, the teacher may not know how to design lessons that are accessible to all the students, potentially leaving some students behind. So teachers need specific training to handle the linguistic diversity in their classroom effectively. Without proper orientation, teachers may struggle to deliver lessons that cater to the needs of students who speak different mother tongues. So now let's proceed to this research article entitled The Challenge of Implementing Mother Tongue Education in Linguistically Diverse Contexts, the Case of the Philippines. So the purpose of this research article by Matila, Padilla, and Williams 2016 is to examine the complexities and obstacles associated with the implementation of mother tongue-based multilingual education in the Philippines. Specifically, the article aims to identify and analyze challenges, explore the various challenges faced by educators, policymakers, and other stakeholders in implementing mother tongue-based multilingual education in a country with a highly diverse linguistic language. Next is to assess the effectiveness of current practices and strategies used in the implementation of mother tongue-based multilingual education, highlighting both successes and areas needing improvement. And next is offer insights based on the findings and proposed recommendations to address the identified challenges with the goal of improving the effectiveness and sustainability of mother tongue-based multilingual education programs in the Philippines. Overall, the article seeks to contribute to the broader discourse on multilingual education by presenting a detailed case study of the Philippines, thereby providing valuable lessons and strategies that can be applicable to other linguistically diverse contexts. So, in this research, what were the key findings? So, the research highlighted the difficulties in implementing mother tongue education in linguistically diverse settings, focusing on the Philippines. It likely discussed challenges such as resource allocation, teaching training, curriculum development, and community involvement. Additionally, it may have emphasized the importance of culturally sensitive approaches in language education policy. From the article, it's clear that implementing mother tongue education in linguistically diverse contexts like the Philippines presents significant challenges. These challenges include ensuring adequate resources, providing appropriate teacher training, developing culturally relevant curricula, and fostering community involvement. Additionally, the research underscores the importance of addressing these challenges with sensitivity to local linguistic and cultural contexts to ensure the success of mother tongue education initiatives.
Hi everyone, I'm Joyce Kalayan, and here are some of the strengths or success in the current implementation of MTB-MLE mother tongue based multilingual education in the country. Includes number one, we have prevention and promotion of indigenous languages. MTB-MLE programs help preserve and promote indigenous languages by using them as the language of instruction in the early years of education. This helps maintaining the cultural identity of ethnic minority groups. Number two, we have improved learning outcomes. Research has shown that children learn better when instruction is delivered in their mother tongue. MTB-MLE programs have been found to improve learning outcomes and academic performance, as a student can understand concepts more easily when taught in a language they are familiar with. Third, we have inclusivity and equity. By providing education in the mother tongue, MTB or MLE programs cater to the needs of diverse learners, including those from marginalized and minority communities. These promote inclusivity and equity in education. Number four, we have smooth transition to other languages. MTB or MLE programs typically transition students to the national languages or other languages of instruction, gradually ensuring that students are proficient in multiple languages while still maintaining proficiency in their mother tongue. Lastly, number five, we have community involvement and support. MTB or MLE programs often involve parents, community members, and local languages experts in the development and implementation of curriculum. This fosters a sense of ownership and support for the program within the community. Overall, the current implementation of MTB or MLE in the country has shown positive results in terms of improving learning outcomes, preserving indigenous languages, promoting inclusivity, and fostering community involvement.
One of the challenge problems in MTB or MLE is teachers may lack the necessary training and proficiency in local languages to effectively implement MTB or MLE, leading to difficulties in delivering quality instruction. So the proposed solution of this is provide comprehensive training programs and professional development opportunities for teachers to enhance their languages skills and pedagogical strategies in MTB or MLE. Offer language proficiency courses, workshop, and mentoring support to empower educators in utilizing local languages in the classroom.
One of the challenges in MTB and MEL is the resistance of lack of community support for MTB and MEL programs that can imply successfully in implementation and sustainability. My proposed solution is that to foster community engagement and involvement through awareness campaigns, parent workshop, and community meetings to promote understanding of the benefits of MTB, MEL, collaborate with local stakeholders, including parents, community leaders, and elders, to gain their supports and active participation in in the education process. Also they need to establish feedback mechanism to address concerns and ensure ongoing community involvement in shaping and sustaining MTB and MEL initiative.